Hi everybody, it's John back with a final reveal video. Today it's the turn of Airfix's 72nd scale English Electric Lightning F Mark 1A. Yeah, got quite a bit to say about this kit. It has its faults, but it goes together like a dream. There's no real fit issues with this model whatsoever, but as I said, it does have its faults. As far as an accurate kit is concerned, it's not that bad, but it does have a gaping hole in the underside for the stand, which is always visible on quite a lot of the models that Airfix produce. And also, this kit probably could have done with a little bit more filler on the underside, because I didn't use any at all, and I probably should have used some. The decals themselves went on a treat, although the Lightning decal, that jagged edge electric decal there with the round on inside it, that actually split on both sides. Both the decals split into two, and on the other side it split into three, and I had to mess about quite a bit with that, with a bit of brushwork here and there to try and feed it into the correct position. But it did sort of go into the correct position, but the age of the decals, they've yellowed slightly, and I did put them in the window for about 2 weeks toward the end of the build, but I think they probably could have done with an extra week. They have slightly yellowed, especially the ones that are on the tail fin there. You can see them on the tail fin, they're a little bit yellow still. But the kit itself is actually quite nice. It's quite a fun build. It goes together quite quickly. The interior of the aircraft himself is a bit pathetic, I'll be honest with you. Even the pilot himself doesn't. He looks like he's leaning back and falling asleep. He's not exactly hands on the controls, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, that's the way it goes. But the kit itself, I had quite a bit of fun. There was a bit of nostalgia attached to this kit, because I do remember building this kit when I was about 11 years old, and it was quite an easy kit to build. I don't think I made any problems. I don't think I had any problems building it as an 11-year-old, and it was a fun kit then, and it was an incredibly fun kit and very full of memories. And for me personally, this kit was of course revamped in its later years, but Airfix retooled this kit as an F3 and gave it different shaped wings and a different tail fin. But the F1A, there's something, I mean, the Airfix, as I said before in the inbox review, when I did the inbox review for this, the English Electric Lightning is actually my favourite aircraft in the world. There is no aircraft that fills me with so much more awe and wonder. I mean, the plane was so powerful. It still holds the record as being the fastest aircraft the RAF have ever introduced into frontline service. Some variants of the F3, which were the hot rod variants, could attain just over 1600 miles an hour short period dash speeds, but they could attain 1550 miles an hour for an awful lot longer. But the main issue the Lightning had, of course, was its lack of legs, because it only had about 10 minutes in the combat zone over the North Sea. So a couple of things I want to point out about this particular kit. The kit itself is finished in G11, the Humbrol gloss metallic silver, sorry, and the 5-streak missiles on the front there are actually finished in G22, which is the Humbrol gloss white, but they have semi-gloss cones there at the front of the missiles, and also the matte 85, which is the semi-gloss black, is the colour used for the anti-glare strip and the actual cockpit frame itself. But I used the Tamiya acrylic paints for those, and they actually went on quite nicely. I hadn't had no issues whatsoever. The the undercarriage is a little bit spindly, and you need to take a bit of care, especially when you're putting the main undercarriage wheels onto those oleos, because I had to open the wheel holes up quite a bit, because I was worried about snapping the undercarriage legs. The undercarriage legs on this kit are quite fragile. They're quite thin and spindly, as you can see. And the nose wheel is one piece, so you don't have to worry about the wheel on that. It's one piece with the front nose undercarriage leg. The forward radar nose cone was painted in matte stone, and the forward radome cone ring there is actually Tamiya chrome silver, And the back end, I also did a couple of bits. I was playing around with some of the silvers here that I have in my pile, because the jet pipes at the back are actually painted in titanium silver, along with the spine. The spine of the aircraft's in titanium silver as well, Tamiya acrylic. And there's a section of avionics in the tail cone there, in the tail fin, in the top of the tail fin there. And also the jet pipes themselves were finished in chrome silver as well, because I wanted to give them a little bit of separation from the rest of the tailpipe. And I think it's worked quite well. I'm quite impressed with the way the kit looks. You know, it's a nice looking kit. You know, remembering how old this model is, it was released in the early 60s. It's actually a half decent kit. A lot of their early release kits of that era, they still have quite a lot to offer. And the F1A Lightning is, I think, one of them. I would thoroughly recommend this kit for people who fancy building an F1A. It's a very cheap and cheerful, quite easy kit to still get hold of. Although the F1A is probably a little bit harder to acquire than an F3. But it is quite a cheap and cheerful, easy, fun build, and it can look quite remarkably striking. I like the decals on this. I like the actual livery on this kit. I really like the way it came out. Quite pleased with the results. And yeah, that's the Airfix Series 2 1/72nd scale English Electric Lightning F Mark 1A. If you have any questions or queries or anything that you want to add to this video, just pop them in the comments and I'll try and get back to you with any of the answers for questions as soon as possible. I'm getting close to 200 subbers now, which I'm quite surprised about. I wasn't expecting 200 subbers to come around so quick. So thank you for all the support. Thanks for all my new subbers that have subbed up, and thanks for some of the comments you've given on some of my older videos. They're very appreciative, and I hope to see you again for the next video as quickly as possible. There are a few final reveals coming up probably in the next couple of weeks, and it'll be interesting to see how those models come out. So I'll see you for the next one, lads. Thanks for following me, and I'll see you as soon as, well, I'll see you for the next video. Bye bye for now.